From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy. Canada's main federal party leaders are turning on their election shine, with Prime Minister Mark Carney expected to call an election tomorrow. If the Governor-General is asked to dissolve Parliament, the vote will likely take place at the end of April or early May. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has made several pre-election announcements about what his government could do if elected ahead of the election call. He's pledged to boost in training and employment for workers in skilled trades, have the federal government offer apprenticeship grants of up to $4,000. He's also promised to work with the provinces to harmonize health and safety regulations for tradespeople so they can work anywhere in Canada. The Canadian government has updated the travel advisory to those heading south of the border. The updated advisory says the United States now requires visitors to register their stay if they're going to be more than 30 days. It applies to Canadians and other foreign nationals traveling in the U.S. Ottawa says those who don't comply with the registration requirement could face fines and a misdemeanor prosecution. The federal government is expanding access to its dental care program for all eligible Canadians who could be applying starting in May. Health Minister Kamal Khera says the program has helped many Canadians who were originally unable to afford a visit to the dental office.
It's not just about cleaning teeth, it's about preventative health care, which is saving lives while also saving money for Canadians. It's about transforming the way that we look at our healthcare system.
The announcement comes ahead of what is expected to be a federal election call. The Vatican has received news that it's been waiting to hear for weeks. Pope Francis will be returning to his residency after a month-long stay at the hospital. Reporter Ines de la Catera has the latest on Pope Francis.
We heard from the Pope's doctors earlier in a presser saying that the Pope is essentially in good enough condition to be able to head back to his home at the Vatican. We understand he's going to continue undergoing treatment there and he'll have to spend some downtime recovering, but his condition has stabilized enough that he is able to leave the hospital.
The Argentine Pope has a chronic lung disease, and part of one of his lung was removed as a young man, but was admitted to Gemelli after a bout of bronchitis had worsened. A Canadian went all the way to Nashville to adopt a dog because of a TikTok account. The account with 125,000 followers started over the COVID pandemic when a volunteer photographer tried something different to get more dogs adopted. She posted videos to showcase the dogs as different personalities in a silly way, assigning each dog a fake breed name like Himalayan Fur Goblin and Teacup Werewolf. The popularity of the video led to an increase in both donations and adoptions, but the shelter is overcrowded. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Rachel Homan's Canadian curling team reaches the final of the Women's World Curling Championship with a 6-5 win in an extra end over host South Korea. Homan meets Switzerland's Silvania Cernizzoni for gold tomorrow morning in a rematch of last year's final, down to her 7-5 in 2024's title match in Sydney, Nova Scotia. 6 Canadian teams are on the ice today in 14 NHL games. The Edmonton Oilers will take on Seattle without captain Connor McDavid and forward Leon Draisaitl, who are both out at least a week with lower body injuries. The Vancouver Canucks visit the New York Rangers. The Calgary Flames are in New York to face the Islanders in afternoon matchups. And later in the evening, the Toronto Maple Leafs will visit Nashville. The Montreal Canadiens will host Colorado. And the Ottawa Senators, they take to New Jersey. The Toronto Blue Jays are sending Max Scherzer to the mound in spring training this afternoon in a game against the Minnesota Twins in Fort Myers, Florida. The Twins' starting pitcher is Scott Blewett. From the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.